Kind of takes me back to my childhood.
Welcome to Chicago O'Hare International Airport, where today we'll be flying the Etihad Airways Airbus A350 business class for 13 hours all the way en route to Abu Dhabi. As soon as I boarded the Etihad Airways Airbus A350, I was captivated by the beautiful visuals of the business class cabin. The seats are spread out in a 1-2-1 configuration and decked out in Etihad's signature brown and gold color palette. And for this flight, I found myself at the very front of the plane in seat 5A by the window. The entertainment screen is found directly in front of you, and underneath that, you've got the tray table with a small latch at the bottom that you can use to slide the table towards you. The table can be fixed into one of two different positions and then folded over into its full size. Now along the side here, you've got two different storage compartments, one that's a little bit deeper that houses the charging outlets, and one that's a bit shallower where you can put your phone or a few other small things. The literature pocket is found down by your knees, and there's also a coat hook up at the very top of the seat for you to hang your coat if necessary. Now there's a few other fun features of the seat that we'll take a look at after takeoff, but for now I'd like to draw your attention to this beautiful signature Etihad lamp that's found at every seat.
Alright, now that we're airborne, it's time to try out a few of the cool features here on Etihad A350 business class. First, let's try charging our phones. There you go. And then let's give this door a try. Right here you've got the door, you've got the little handle, and it just about slides closed. Now this door is still a little bit short, so you can still kind of see over the edge. It's not the most private business class seat in the world, but it's still better than not having a door.
The amenity kits on Etihad Airways business class are produced by Acqua di Parma, and they're a distinctive shade of yellow that's quite aesthetically pleasing. However, the interior contents of the amenity kit leave a lot to be desired, as there really aren't too many items to speak of, with the only noteworthy inclusion being this small bottle of cologne. Surely a few more different skincare items wouldn't be too much to ask for.
So this was an 8:30 p.m. departure from Chicago, which means we're going to have a nice dinner before going to sleep. Let's take a look at the menu. Now, typically on Middle Eastern airlines, I'm usually partial to the mezza course for the appetizer, but there was a tuna tataki here on Etihad Airways, and being true to my palate, I couldn't resist getting the tuna tataki. Let's find out how it tastes.
The tuna tataki was a delicious appetizer and I had no regrets picking it over the Arabic mezza. The tuna slices were perfectly tender and lightly seared on the outside, and the soy sauce drizzled on top added a very strong flavor profile to the dish.
Alright, now if you've been watching these videos for a while, you'll know that I have a tendency to order multiple main courses if at all possible. And this flight on Etihad Airways business class is no exception. I got the lamb makdous, but I also asked for a cheeky order of the shrimp, and we'll have that after this. For now, I'm really looking forward to trying out the lamb, so let's give it a go alongside some red wine.
Now the lamb makdous and rice was arguably the highlight of the meal. It was fluffy in texture and perfectly spiced in taste, and I really enjoyed polishing off every bite of this main course, discovering in this lamb makdous another installment in the positive food experiences I've had on Etihad Airways in the past.
Now, this is a pretty good meal, pretty decent meal. I would maybe pay about $20 or $25 for it on the ground. But if you're curious how I actually managed to pay even less than that for this entire flight, make sure to watch the end of the video. I'll explain to you how exactly I booked this flight on Etihad Airways business class for less than $20. I'll tell you the details when we're about to land in Abu Dhabi. Cajun shrimp, second main course of the evening. Let's give it a go.
Now unfortunately, the Cajun shrimp didn't hit quite the same heights as the tuna and the lamb, and overall just didn't quite impress me in the same way. So if you have the choice between the lamb and the shrimp on an Etihad flight, I'd recommend picking the lamb among the main courses. To wrap up this meal, I will say that the mango passion fruit cheesecake was an absolute showstopper. Not only did the cheesecake come with a very nice fruity sauce, but it even had a few individual bits of fruit and a few pieces of candy on top. I eagerly finished off every bite of the cake, washing it all down with a cappuccino. Alright, taking a look here at the Etihad Airways A350 bathroom.
got a nice sink over here. I love the jet black look of the countertop here. Baby changing table right here. Again, jet black, super sleek. Another mirror over here. You can also see these light patterns up here. Super cool mosaic motif here on Etihad Business Class. Overall, it's quite a nice bathroom. This being an A350, relatively new, it's no more than I would expect. Alright, with about 8 hours of the flight left to go, I finished my meals, I finished relaxing for a little bit, and now it's time to get some sleep. I'm excited to try out what it's like to sleep on board the Etihad Airbus A350, and of course, I'm going to leave some time to wake up and try out some of the food items on the snack menu as well. But for now, I'm going to try to get some rest, and I recently picked up these AirPod Pros, and they are really quite incredible when it comes to noise canceling on the plane. All right, breakfast is served. We got a black coffee, we got a mango juice, we got some croissants, and I don't know, there's something really rejuvenating to me about having cereal on a plane. Kind of takes me back to my childhood.
Indeed, there's something very soothing and gratifying about cereal on a plane, especially when the milk is poured into the bowl right in front of you.
And I really gotta say, nice pastry as well. It's warm and toasty. Exceeds my expectations. Now, this is quite exciting because it's perhaps what Etihad is most well known for in terms of the items on the snack menu, and that's the steak sandwich that's served with some potato chips on the side. I've had this dish before on Etihad Business Class, but I'm curious to see how it's holding up.
Now, I'm pleased to say that the steak sandwich and the chips on the side was just as good as I remembered from my last flight on Etihad Business Class. And here's a tip if you're trying this dish: put some of the chips within the sandwich for some extra crunch.
Now, we're just about landing in Abu Dhabi very soon, and I have to say, I really appreciate the crew coming by to give me a fast-track immigration card in case it's busy over at the airport when we land. And since we're getting close to landing in Abu Dhabi, let's talk about how I actually booked this flight and exactly how much I paid in order to find myself sitting here in 5A on Etihad Airways A350 Business Class. Now, this flight from Chicago to Abu Dhabi normally retails for upwards of thousands of dollars, if not $10,000. But if you use miles to book the flight, then you only have to pay the taxes and fees out of pocket, and on a flight departing from the United States, that's as low as $5.60. That's right, only $5, a mere fraction of what it would even cost to have one of the meals on board the plane. Now, in my case, I used Aeroplan points to book this flight, which is one of the best ways to book Etihad Airways. I paid 85,000 Aeroplan points for the one-way journey, although it has since increased to 90,000 points. Still, it's fantastic value, and I'd say that Etihad Airways is one of the best partners that you can book with Aeroplan points. So if you're interested in trying out this flight that I'm on, then now you know how to book. So that was Etihad Airways Airbus A350 Business Class. Really great flight, really enjoyed it, but I do wonder how this compares to Etihad Airways' Middle Eastern rival, Qatar Airways Q Suites. You can check out that video right here. Watch that video and then comment below to let me know which of these two experiences you think is better.